Hey y'all, welcome back to A Dinosaur in the Library. I'm Dawn and we're here to ramble about books again. So thanks for everyone who stuck with me through Vlogmas. I've never done one of those before and it was really nerve-wracking there toward the end trying to figure out what to do for those days, and I hope that everybody enjoyed the videos that I posted. I really had a lot of fun doing it and I'm hoping to be able to do it next year. So in this video, I'm going to wrap up my 2015 reading challenges and talk a little bit about the challenges that I've set for myself in 2016. But first, I want to talk about one thing. So I was lucky enough to manage to get on 2 committees for the American Library Association this year. One is the Great Graphic Novels List Selection Committee and the other is the Rainbow List Selection Committee. The first one is obviously graphic novels. The second one is LGBTQ, young adult, and children's books. So that said, I will be reading quite a lot over the span of this year in the service of finding books for those lists as part of that committee. However, while I am on the committee, I am not allowed to review any of those books. So if you follow me on Goodreads, you may see me mark a book as read, but it will have no review. And I won't be able to talk about whether I liked it or not or anything like that. So if you follow me on Goodreads or anything and you happen to see that, that is why. I'm literally not allowed to talk about it. So I can mark them as read just to keep up with how many I'm reading, that sort of thing. And I'm going to keep a spreadsheet of my, of my own, so that when the year is over and I am allowed to go back and do those reviews, I will go back and put the star ratings and that sort of thing in. And hopefully after the committee work is over, I can pull out some of my favorites and talk about it and that kind of thing. But just know that I will be reading a lot of things this year that I'm not going to be able to talk about, which kind of sucks. And I was like, oh, dang it. But, that's just how it is. You don't want to, review something highly personally and then, say the publisher or somebody saw it, because our names are public, and they assume they're going to be, on the final list and they're not. And then you've got issues. So it's better just not to review them at all during the year. And then I can put my reviews in afterward when the committee work is long over with. But so that is why, if you happen to see that. But that being said, I'm going to break down a little bit of my 2015 and then talk about my 2016. So during 2015, I read 137 books. I had set a goal of 100, and there were 48 5-stars, 55 4-star, 21 3-star, 6 2-star, 3 1-star. I don't usually have a whole lot of 1-star books just because I tend not to pick up things that I don't want to read. I don't read things that I feel like I should read just because I should, unless it's for class. And one of the low-rated books on this year was a book I read for one of my classes. But for the most part, I tend to enjoy, even just it was okay. I tend to enjoy what I read. I've had some low-rated reads lately, and that upsets me, but, you have good days, you have bad days. So I broke them down into a few more categories just to kind of talk about the things that I read. So I read 1 zine, 1 poetry collection, 34 young adult / middle grade, 18 picture books, 38 nonfiction, and 41 fiction. So, and then I broke that down a little bit. I read 26 graphic novels and comics and 26 books that I classified as diverse, which includes international literature, LGBTQ, ethnic and racially diverse authors and books, books about disability, all of those things went into this. And I'm really not happy with the count that I got. So 26 out of 137, that's not a whole lot. And I would really, really like, honestly, to make at least half minimum of my reading for 2016 be consciously diverse. Obviously, because I'm going to be reading a lot of books for the Rainbow List, there's going to be a lot of LGBTQ, so I'm going to try to, beyond that, try to put a lot more diversity in. And in the service of that, my 2016 goals. So I set a Goodreads goal of 100 books. This year, I surpassed it. I'm expecting to surpass it again this year just because of all the committee reading and things for papers and classes and things. But 100 I figure is a pretty reasonable goal, given my ability to binge read on school breaks between semesters and things like that. But also, I'm going to be doing the Book Riot Read Harder Challenge again. And I talked about last year's and this year's in a video already, so I'll leave that link down below in case you're interested in hearing me ramble on about those. But I'm going to be doing that, and there's a couple of different challenges having to do with diversity on there, I think, again this year. But that is my main goal, aside from the number, is to have more diverse reads. And particularly, I would like to include a lot more international literature, just because I haven't read a whole lot of it. So there's a book, and the title of which I cannot remember, but this woman read a book from each of 196 recognized nations, and in one other region, I think, in the span of a year. And while I know for a fact that I cannot make that challenge for myself this year and actually reach it, so I'm not even going to, I am going to do my best to try to replicate that challenge in a much bigger time span. So I looked at my Goodreads list of what I've read, and if I've read it within the last 2 years, I counted it, and then I'm going to go ahead and try to read from the rest of the countries. So far, this is what I've got. I've read from Russia, Spain, Japan, Germany, France, New Zealand, Malaysia, the Philippines, South Korea, England, Norway, and Belgium. So obviously, those are mostly European nations. There's a couple of Asian nations, and New Zealand is there. But I definitely want, and these are all books that if they're from a country with a language not English, these are translated pieces of literature. Although if it's published in that other country in English, I'm not going to say, oh, I'm not going to read it. Because it is from that country and it is international literature, so that's fine. Obviously, I do not speak or read another language fluently enough to read the books in their own language, so it's going to have to be something that's translated into English. And I think the woman who did the challenge previously had the same thing. She had to have them in English, and she has a list of recommendations for every single country, and I may end up relying partially on that. But I'm going to do my best to find what I can on my own, just because I like doing that sort of thing. You go to library school and you end up really loving to look things up and research things, or at least it happened for me. So those are so far what I have, my Reading Around the World project, and it may take me 2 years, it may take me 5, I don't know, but I'm hopeful that I will be able to read one from every single nation on Earth, if possible, because there may be some out there that don't have anything in English translation, and that will be a problem. But like I said, I think she has a list that will be probably pretty useful for me. So that's all I had to say about my reading goals for this year and next year, or for last year and this year. I keep forgetting that it's already January, and it's just now getting cold in Florida. No, there's no climate change, guys. It was 80 the other day. 80. So yeah. In a few days, I'm probably going to set Sunday as my upload day for the week. Again, last year, that was pretty much when I tried to do it, and it works pretty well. I tend to film my videos after my wife's gone to work, because for some reason I get a little self-conscious when somebody else is in the house, even if it's my wife. I don't know. So I tend to film when she's gone to work on Saturday evenings, or Saturday night, actually, and then I upload them and post them on Sundays. That being said, I will more than likely be filming and uploading another video before school starts of all of the books that I've read on my holiday break, because I'm still reading. I'm trying to cram in just as much as possible before my break ends. I've read some awesome books, and I've read some kind of clunkers, and I will be happy to discuss them all with you then. Until then, I hope everybody had a wonderful New Year's, and if you went out partying, I hope that you got home safely and your hangover was not too bad the next day. We went to a friend's house and had a really good time. I don't drink, so no hangovers. But other than that, it's been a pretty good time, and I will see you guys soon, and I hope you've all had a wonderful holiday and a wonderful reading holiday. So I'll see you again soon. Bye.